Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and on today's Action Figure Showcase, we bring one of the greatest, arguably the greatest of all time, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back. Like I said, we are taking a look at all of my Stone Cold Steve Austin figures today, and I just decided, let's go with a character today because we just finished up the Ruthless Aggression series with almost all of my Ruthless Aggression figures. I added some to the collection as I was going, so it will circle around maybe in like a year. No. We'll get back to that eventually as we add to the collection. But today we're going to take a look at Stone Cold and all of the different versions of him that we have gotten, or at least that I have in my collection. I don't have every single one, and really I try to diversify them as much as possible because a lot of the Austin releases we do get are pretty much the same. You might get like a different jacket, might get a t-shirt or something, but Mattel's been trying to mix it up a little bit, and I appreciate that. So I wanted to take a look at some figures we have. So first off here is going to be the Stunning Steve Austin, is when he was tag teaming with Brian Pillman. So we did get a WCW Brian Pillman in his orange tiger design, and what I ended up doing was just swapping over those parts. So I swapped over, I had an extra Stone Cold, gave him the Brian thighs. He's got the same boots, which might be a little inaccurate, I believe. And then I just used a Bobby Roode torso over here to make my Brian to match with Stone Cold. But it comes with the Stunning Steve on the back, and I actually think, yeah, so this jacket too came with Brian Pillman. He came with this jacket, but it was his singles run attire, which I do have that figure as well. I was too young for this iteration of Stone Cold. I always knew Stone Cold as Stone Cold. I didn't know him as the Ringmaster, any of his other gimmicks before WWE, but being able to get Stone Cold with hair in my collection is just fascinating. Next up, some more WCW goodness. We have the Elite 100 Stone Cold, and again, I think he was still Stunning Steve. This was kind of during his time when he was in the Dangerous Alliance. He was in a program with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, which for a lot of people would probably be a career highlight. And he was, I think this is the TV championship, but if I remember correctly, the version he held was the black version. And I don't know why Mattel didn't do that. Honestly, it's cool to get different colored belts. Like, it doesn't just look like every other belt. I like getting different versions, but I know some people are real sticklers on details, but that's not something that bothers me. The formula is the same. So this is one thing with his older figures. They give him the ball joint legs that are larger, and then he has the same torso, but this one's got the double jointed arms. This robe is very nice. I always love cloth goods. He's got the ponytail, which is just always going to be weird to me because I grew up only knowing Stone Cold as being bald. But overall, I think it's a really, really nice figure. I love this formula. I wish they would use these legs more often for guys. I like the bigger legs. I think they give some guys the legs, make them a little too skinny. But yeah, this is Elite 100. It was a figure that I waited on, and then it was kind of drying up at my stores and online, so I snagged it, and I have no regrets on that one. Next up, we have Chili McFreeze, or actually, I'm wrong. Chili McFreeze is what he almost became. That was on the table when he became Stone Cold. This is the Ringmaster. This was the Network Spotlight figure from Toys R Us years ago. Maybe even like, I want to say that was like 2014, 15 was when we were getting those. Gosh, maybe. I'd have to look to be 100% sure, but that was a long time ago. Obviously, Toys R Us was still around and kicking. We had a bunch of Network Spotlight figures. We had a Diesel. We had Shawn Michaels. We had Vince McMahon. Jinder Mahal was in there. I think when they rebooted Defining Moments, like I got my that first Shinsuke there. Anyway, I miss Toys R Us a lot. We don't have it here in the U.S. But this was one of their Network Spotlight figures, which I really like that line. It gave us some maybe not deeper cuts, but deeper characters. And Ringmaster Austin was not one I ever thought we would get. He was managed by Ted DiBiase then. He held the $1 Million Championship. He still has hair. And his finishing move was the $1 Million Dream, just the sleeper. It's just a far cry from what he would become, even just like shortly after his Stone Cold. But still, like, I'm glad that they gave us this. I feel like with a lot of guys, they kind of shied away from their, maybe not like bad characters, but the characters they were before they kind of blew up. And Ringmaster also was definitely one of those. So I'm glad we got it. And I picked it up when they had these. I had a bunch of them because they went on clearance for $9.89, and I picked up like every one I could. So did keep one in my collection. I think it's a great figure. Like I said, I love this formula. I love the bigger legs. I wish they'd use that for all the Austins, but lo and behold, they don't, and I don't really know why. Next up is going to be like kind of my early Stone Cold. And like I said, the differences in Stone Cold Elites is not there's not a very stark contrast in them. So I try to do little things to differentiate them. And with this one, I gave him bigger knee pads and I took away the knee braces. And this is kind of supposed to be like my new generation, like just turned Stone Cold figure. So on the vest here, I gave him this like OG Stone Cold logo, and mine got like wet and messed up. So this is messed up on the vest, but on the trunks, he's got that Stone Cold logo. Obviously no braces, not a lot to it. You can see here what I was talking about with the legs. Like, Stone Cold wasn't the small guy, like a skinny guy by any means. And they just give him skinny legs on his normal Elites typically. They gave him bigger legs on his older figures, which I don't think he was like smaller once he became Stone Cold. And I think that it's just because that's what they started out with, and some guys, they're resistant to changing formulas. We've seen it more with AJ Styles. We're supposed to be getting it with Roman. I haven't seen that yet, but you never know. Maybe we'll start getting more Stone Colds like this, but again, this is just a fix-up of mine that works for the collection. Next up is the Ultimate Edition, and I think this is a fantastic figure. The only issue I have with it really is the arms with pins, but that's because it was made earlier in the line. We've gotten this re-released. Obviously, it still has the pins and everything, but this was my favorite Stone Cold in my collection. I love the head scans. We got 3 of them. I don't remember which other ones they're in my bin, or I think I've used them for other figures. I really like the yelling head scan. I think this torso works for Stone Cold. I wish it was a little bit bigger. I think that this torso back here is perfect for Stone Cold. Again, the skinny legs, which not a deal breaker, but still it fits this body, but I think that just in general, his body should be a little bit bigger. This belt did not come with him, I don't think. Maybe it did. I know one of them came with the Ringside Exclusive cane, I believe. Now I'm totally blanking. Maybe not. This purple belt, when I was younger, I had a foam version of it that was like a navy blue. So it's very nostalgic. It was not around very long, but I just think of Stone Cold with it, even though I think I have a cane also that's posed with it. But this is the Ultimate Edition. I'm sure they'll come back around. They'll do another Stone Cold somehow. Maybe they'll update the torso. We'll probably get one with the pinless arms, and maybe, you'd think they make Stone Cold this small, and then they make Eddie Guerrero gigantic, where eventually we'll come back around and we'll get both of them in the right size. But honestly, I think I'd rather have this where it looks a little skinny compared to Eddie where he looks gigantic. So in my opinion, a great figure. If you're able to pick it up, especially with it being re-released, absolutely grab this one. Next up is the Amazon exclusive Best of Attitude Era Stone Cold, which is one that probably a lot of people, if there's Stone Colds people don't have, I would guess it's this one. The Best of Attitude Era line seemed to really disappoint on Amazon. We got this one. We got The Rock in his, is it $500,000 shirt or whatever? I can't remember. I can't remember the price. Rock wore his expensive shirts. He had, that's what he came with in that line. We got a Jericho who was the only one in ring gear. and then we had a Triple H with his leather jacket, like his DX attire. But this Stone Cold came with a Stone Cold University tank top, and then it also had a hat. I couldn't find the hat; it fell off. It's in my bin somewhere, but it was a pretty just generic Stone Cold. And when I got this, I didn't have any other street attire Stone Colds. And with Stone Cold, like I said, we don't have a lot. Like, he always wore the same thing. He might have like a different design on his vest or whatever, but street clothes, Austin's, I think, are really important because he wore a lot of different street attires. So I really like this one. It was before they were really doing True Effects, so it doesn't have that on there, which I think makes his goatee look much better. But still, I think it's a nice figure. We got that Rock re-release, so I don't know if they would do this one. I could see this shirt just being thrown in with like an Ultimate or something, but you never know what Mattel's going to do. Overall, I think it's a fine figure, but we are getting one in the not Best of Attitude, the Monday Night Wars line, and that's supposed to be a re-release of his Defining Moment, I think, figure, where he had on his camo jacket and everything. So maybe they'll throw like this tank top in there with it. I don't know. I'm really excited to pick that one up. I'm excited for all those Attitude Era figs. Like, obviously, my love for the Ruthless Aggression era cannot be understated, but I grew up with the Attitude Era. There's so much nostalgia there, and that's what got me into wrestling. So the more Austins, the merrier, and I can't wait to pick that up. Next up is my custom street attire Austin, and it's probably my favorite Austin figure. It's different than all the ones we've gotten. It's got, there's a lot about it that I really, really like, and obviously it's my own custom. I'm a little bit biased here, but I wanted to do something different, so I was trying to find another street attire and something I could kind of work into the like Invasion era, towards the end of the Attitude Era there. So when he was the Alliance champion, he had this sweatshirt. It's got the Stone Cold Texas Venom on it, and then we've got the skulls on the arms. And on the back it says 101 proof. So I also, with the shorts, and here, let's just sneak this in here, because this is so we'll just throw this Ruthless Aggression custom in here as well. So this is Ruthless Aggression Stone Cold. I got this shirt from Threadhead. Obviously, we're not getting that from Mattel. But he was the sheriff of Raw for a bit, so I made that custom as well because he wrestled during the Ruthless Aggression era just like briefly. When I think of Stone Cold, then I just think of him as his sheriff role on Raw, so made that. But you can see here, this is just the plain shorts, have no texture, no wash, no anything. On this one, I gave it a dark wash and then a little dry brush over it to make it just look more like jeans, which here you can even get this one over here. Like, I hate when they give us jeans and there's just no texture on it because they just look like weird blue sweatpants. So I did that to this one. I will do it. I'll probably do it to like all of my figures that have jeans and whatnot, like all the John Cena's, but I think that makes it look a lot better, like makes it look a lot more realistic. With this one, with the torso, so the torso was from, I think it was from a Bradshaw APA figure, and then the arms are actually from the Elite 85 Bray Wyatt. Those figures were super, super cheap for a long time on Ringside, and I picked up a bunch of them thinking I could find uses for the arms, and I think I'm also going to do like a Spike Dudley with a sweatshirt kind of look. But it's pinless, so it was really easy to get the decals on there. The only issue with the torso was that these t-shirt torsos don't fit the normal pegs. So some figures come with like a little band that goes around the peg on the crotch piece so that it doesn't like move around and float around. Other times I've seen some people use hot glue to get it to stay in place. I've used sculpting clay before. But that, we'll save that. I can talk about that more on like Work in Progress Wednesday or something. But again, here are my customs. I love this one. I'll probably make more. There's a few different looks I want of Austin in his jorts, but it's just a matter of tracking down the pieces. So next up is another one of the like OG Elite Austin figures. This is the Ringside Exclusive. Again, like Invasion era Stone Cold, and when he was a heel, he kind of rotated. He had different knee brace colors. And this one, so this was on Ringside. I think it came with a few different belts, but it's got his red vest. And like I said, with the Austins, there's very little difference in them without the vest. It's just another Austin in black tights, but you got the red knee pads, the red vest, and it stands out. It's a different time, and even just Austin with colored knee braces was different in and of itself. Just, I thought it was cool because he never really changed things up, but I wasn't collecting when this first was on Ringside. I picked it up well after, like way after, like the last year. So this figure had been out for a long time. I got it for a really cheap price. I do like this head scan a lot. I don't know if we've gotten it re-released, but I like the like smirking face. I think that fits him really well for his invasion time period. But I know a lot of people don't really look on that fondly because everyone just wanted Stone Cold to be a babyface, and he wasn't. It was a weird time for Stone Cold, but still a time, like, as a kid, that I thought it was funny. It was different, and I still enjoyed Stone Cold. So got a couple more in here before we wrap up the day. All right, so this is the Ruthless Aggression one that we just recently got, and just get them both back up here together. This Austin is fine. That's about all I have to say about it. It's based on one of the Ruthless Aggression figures that we got, and I thought that figure was weird. I had it as a kid. He had the camo pants. He had like the same body mold as Matt Hardy, who had like the big pants and then the painted on torso. So I did like the Ruthless Aggression line, how they kind of like paid homage to the old figures, because obviously that's what I grew up with, and I love those. But I just thought this figure was fine. I was in no rush to get it, and I feel like that is kind of what other people think as well, because I have seen a lot of these just chilling at my stores that never really sold out. I like the cloth goods shirt. We get the necklace. The head scan, though, is really, really, like, you can't even see the goatee because of how light it's on there. So that's one thing I wasn't fond of, but still, it's a fine figure. And for those of us who don't just make customs of everything we don't have, a Ruthless Aggression Stone Cold is needed. Last one I'm going to take a look at, and I went out of order because of the Ruthless Aggression one, but I have my two-man power trip Stone Cold, and this one was when he was tagged with Triple H, which, let's just move Stone Cold over here for a second and bring out our two-man power trip Triple H. And this was a very short-lived combination because Triple H got hurt. This is from the 2-pack with Jeff Hardy, which I don't even, it wasn't Ring. I got it at Big Lots. I got a bunch of them at Big Lots. I don't remember where else it was from. Maybe it was on Ringside, but I had to make an Austin to match it, so I gave him the gold jacket, gave him the white knee braces, and again, not a lot you can do, but that represents him from that time. Got both belts. That head scan is from Basic 100, which we've gotten different versions of now. It's really big. They resized it after that set. Like, look, the difference in the head size is insane. He's got a little, like a normal size head, and over here, they took notes from Jax, gave him a massive balloon head. But not the end of the world. Like I said, I like the head scans that have the true effects. I think his goatee would look so much better. Really, I think they knock Austin figures out of the park. I think the expressions, the likeness that they give him are fantastic. I really don't have complaints besides the skinny legs, which I have a lot of part choices I could nitpick and complain about, but at the end of the day, I think that you look at these figures, you know it's Austin. He's got a bunch of different looks, and hopefully we keep getting more, especially with the Attitude Era line. I don't know how they're gonna do that, what we're all gonna get, but we're guaranteed at least one, and I would be surprised if we didn't get an Ultimate Edition of him. But anyway, that is going to be everything for the showcase today. I already have some other Austins in mind. You guys gave me a bunch of ideas, so I have been just trying to get done what I can, kind of get some stuff put together here. And when I have a chance, I record some showcases. So keep the ideas coming. I always appreciate it. And even just like talking about wrestling figures like that is a lot of fun for me. So outside of that, if you want to go check out some more, like we said, we just wrapped up the Ruthless Aggression Showcase. As of recording this, I am just barely, this morning recording, I was at 990 subscribers for the channel. Obviously, 1,000 is a big benchmark, and I'm really excited to get there. There will be a big giveaway for that. Like, I have plenty of ideas, but there will be a big giveaway for that. If you want, I lost my train of thought there. I'm just getting real excited talking about action figures. You never know where it's going to go. Anyway, as always, please like, share, subscribe. Continue to support it. I always appreciate it. And remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude out.